Well, from the Western perspective, cows are a business, right? People protect cows in the West to make money by selling them for slaughter. It's a there's no or for sport. In Mexico or in Spain, they use the bulls for fighting, and they make huge amounts of money by breeding bulls for fighting, and they kill the bulls. So in the Western countries, the only concept is how much money can we make from these bulls and these cows? How can these cows and bulls serve us? How can we profit from the cows and the bulls? Leather industry, bullfighting, and the meat industry. This is how the cow is seen as a commodity. That's all. Sorry?
Utility based.
Utility based. That's the only value is that there's profit in keeping them. Or milk also, cheese also, so many things, dairy products. But no, there's absolutely no concern for the well-being of the cow unless she's very valuable and a very big milk producer. Then they'll give some respect, but only because it's good for profit. So India is becoming like this also now. Of course, when I came here 25 years ago, there was more respect for the cow. At that time, the leather industry was not so big in India. But nowadays, I don't see much difference, frankly. I'm sorry to say. Of course, in the Vedic concept is that cows are sacred, cows are holy, because they are dear to Lord Sri Krishna. Gopal, Sri Govinda. We know from our Shastras, our scriptures, that Krishna protects cows, that this is his duty. He is a protector of cows. So we know, here, at least in the Vedic culture, it is known that by protecting cows, Krishna is pleased. Krishna is the source of everything, and if one pleases the source, then all prosperity, all happiness develops in life. Our scriptures express that inside the body of the cow reside all the devatas, all the demigods, 33 crores of demigods who manage the universal affairs. They all reside inside the body of the cow. In 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita is explained that one must do yajna, one must do sacrifice. In order to get man's necessities, in order to get all our necessities, we have to do some sacrifice. So it's explained in the Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, that if we do some sacrifice, we offer some things to the demigods and Krishna, then all of the things that are necessary for life are supplied. So if all the demigods reside in the body of the cow, then it is understood that protecting cows constitutes worship of the demigods, constitutes worship of Krishna, and so therefore society benefits. So by protecting them, naturally one will get milk, one will get ghee, one will get all the things that are required for doing puja in the temple. All the things that are required for worshiping Krishna, for doing abhishek, the panchagavya, is a result of protecting cows. And without the panchagavya, there's no question of religious life. Eh? You cannot go, everyone goes to the temple here in Vrindavan. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of people come to worship Krishna in Vrindavan, but not one arti can be performed unless there's ghee. No puja, no cooking for the deity can be performed unless there's milk, unless there's ghee, dahi, gobar, and mutra. So here, or at least the Vedic concept, the Vedic concept is that we worship the cow in order to get these ingredients, and then there'll be prosperity in society. So the concept is we give to the cow and we get back. We get back a happy and normal life. So those are the basic differences. At least in the Vaishnava concept, a cow is very important because by pleasing the cow, Krishna is pleased. So the best result, better than milk, better than meat, better than ghee, better than leather, is that the result is that Krishna is pleased. So our focus, at least the Vaishnava's focus, is to serve cows, and the only return we want is that Krishna is pleased.
It's more of a concern and loving exchange-based relationship than that of a utility and a commodity-based relationship.
Exactly. The purpose of human life is to develop bhakti, love of God. And so caring for cows, protecting cows is a perfect avenue for developing selfless service attitude. So that is the classical concept of cow protection. And of course we want to get the ingredients. Why? Because they're necessary, they're required for worshiping Krishna.
Can you tell us about some of the activities here that you're doing?
Here we have a Gausadan. A Gausadan is a place, it's like a retirement home for cows. Every Gaushala, the cows become old, the bulls become old, the oxen become old, and so they should be maintained their whole life for the service they've done. So that's what we do here. Here we have retired cows. This is not a dairy here. We're not focused at all on milk production, but protecting cows, and many of them we've taken from the street because many of the villagers abandon the cows once they're not producing milk. So they're thrown in the street, or once the farmer buys a tractor, he doesn't need the bull anymore, so he throws him in the street. And then of course, people who come to Vrindavan, now they don't see that cows are holy, they think cars are holy. So they come driving their cars to Vrindavan in a big rush to go and take darshan of the deity, and they run over the cows. So we take cows off the street that have been injured. Right now you see over here we have several that have broken limbs. We have several that have limbs amputated. We have several that can't get up. They'll never get up again. But nevertheless, we're spending a good amount of money on medicines, on veterinarians, in order to just protect these cows, to make them as comfortable as possible. So we have we have some retired oxen. We have several injured animals that are recuperating. So this is our service to the cows, is we're protecting them for the purpose of pleasing Krishna, knowing that he will reciprocate and give his blessings.
Those cows that have been rejected, to what extent can they become productive? How much time would it normally take them to be cured and to heal up, and to become productive in terms of their usage from the dung and the urine, example, especially for the medicinal purposes. So what are the probabilities in general for the cows to become normal once again in terms of being able to be productive on the dung and the urine perspective?
I think it depends a lot on the health of the animal, because when they're abandoned, they end up eating in the garbage heaps with the hogs and the dogs, or fighting in the market, in the vegetable market, to get some scraps of vegetables. They don't get a good diet. Many of the cows we bring in off the street, they have chronic diarrhea. And the worst thing is they eat, in the garbage heaps, they eat all the plastic bags tracked. In fact, we have a film of an operation being done at the Mathura Veterinary Hospital where they're opening up the cow's rumen and they took out 40 kilos of plastic bags that are all twisted. So once these plastic bags get in the system, they may have diarrhea and digestive problems the rest of their life. But say, generally our experience is that if we get a cow that's unhealthy, eating garbage on the street, within 2 months, the dung and the urine is healthy. That is, this is an approximation, an average. Maybe 1 or 2 months of good food and good diet, then the animal becomes quite healthy. And then within, say, 6 months, they develop full body weight. You can see this bull, he was on the street. He was on the street for 8 years. And now look at him, he's very healthy. When he came, his dung was black and loose. Now his dung is very strong, and he's so I would say his urine, of course, now could be used for insecticide repellents and stuff, not for medicines for human ingestion. The bull's urine is used for like making pesticides and so on. And his dung is very good for, we make some dupe for doing puja, and also we make kande for fuel for cooking, which is very useful. And you see here our whole, we just plastered the whole Gaushala with gobar and mitti. Once a year we paint the whole Gaushala with cow dung and mud. And it's a very soothing, very wonderful substance for decoration and for aesthetics.
Now we can probably take all those shots to ले लेना आपने. मैं दोबारा ले लूँगा. We're going to refine this further. Later on, we're going to refine this more and more. So I'll be in Vrindavan itself. So maybe once during Kartik, whenever you are relatively free, then later on we have to develop it further. तो यहाँ से मेरे को फायदा नहीं है. हमको जनरल शॉट्स नहीं लेने हैं. प्रभु जी हमको बताएंगे गाय के बारे में. चलो कोई बात उनका लेना है क्योंकि ये जनरल शॉट्स बहुत है हमारे पास में गाय का. चलो छोड़ो. कोई समझ में नहीं आएगा यहाँ क्योंकि बीमार.
And her leg was crushed, and so she had to have the leg amputated. But she can still use it, the stump anyway. But you see it makes her back all twisted. Here's another one right here. This one, she lost her front leg. This is a cow that was hit by a car, had her leg run over, and lost her leg. Only because somebody is driving too fast, driving carelessly. So people usually drive fast in order to save time. But if you drive fast in Vrindavan, you'll save time because the only time you'll save is that you'll go to hell faster. You'll reach hell maybe even a few minutes early. Because if you run over a cow, Krishna is very displeased by this. It is violent. So this one also has a fractured pelvis. Over here we have another one that also is injured in the street. You can see. Her leg was broken, and she was abandoned in the street, so she got no medical attention, and so it didn't heal properly. So she cannot fend for herself properly. So we're keeping her here and feeding her, and she's becoming very healthy. She's quite healthy now. Also, we have another one over here. So even though this cow, has this injury, it doesn't affect the quality of the cow dung and the urine, which is still pure and still can be used in many different ways for medicines and for deity worship. So she's very useful, even though she only had. So this bull laying down here, he was hit by a car and he has 2 legs broken, several ribs broken. He'll never be able to stand again. His hips are broken also. This other one, the cow that's sitting down here, has one leg broken. She's recovering fast. The other one, we're not sure how long he'll live. But we're keeping them. We've put sand down, Yamuna sand, so that they can sit and they don't get pressure sores. By a car also. He was run over by a car when he was 6 months old. Now he's 7 years old. We've been taking care of him since then. Now he can't stand up by himself. We have to hoist him up, hoist up his back leg. But this is again the result of somebody not having time to drive slow in Vrindavan. It's just because, by driving fast and saving 1 or 2 minutes, then this bull has to spend his whole life as an invalid. And then this one, hey, it's time for, he's an orphan and it's time for his milk. We're buying milk to feed him, yeah. So in here we have one that has a birth defect. This cow, young calf here, she's born with her legs stiff. So she can't wake, she can't get up, she can't walk. This bull over here and against the wall, then he was hit by a car and he has 2 broken legs and he can't get up, he can't walk.
Cows from the Indian and the say the Western perspective.
At least I can say in terms of Denmark, where I come from, which is known as a country with cows, with a lot of milk, that the cows they are just used as a machine that gives a product, milk and meat, because they kill the cows. Yeah, the cows are not looked at as a living being who has a soul. So whatever requires for keeping the cow fit for producing what people want from them, then they would do. But there's no sense of that there's a spiritual living entity inside the cow, and that the cow not over, is a, on top of that is a sacred animal, yeah, which one has to really take care of with love and care, and which one can learn a lot from. The cow is really our mother who can teach us a lot of things, yeah.
So the original Indian perspective.
Then when you come to India, and especially when you come to a Gaushala like that, where you see that it's not utilizing the cow, for whatever it can give us, but taking care of the cows, just because the cow is a sacred animal, and and she is very dear to Krishna, yeah. So just for that sake, you see in India, that there's so much understanding of the protection. Yeah, how the protection.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama